Evening everyone, and welcome back to a special edition of At Home in the Shed. Bit of a special one tonight, I think.
Yeah, we're going to be.
You'll like this.
We're going to be doing a 70s, 1970s British horror films.
Yeah.
So basically stuff like Hammer House of Horror sort of stuff. But these are like the films that came out like early 70s, Yeah. So and there were some good ones. So yeah, we've got a few to talk about tonight.
That's it. Another new subscriber just come up, Justin. Thank you, mate. It's really nice getting in touch with you again. It's my cousin. I ain't spoken to him in years, okay. And it's nice to get back in touch. And thanks for watching, Justin, mate. Really good to hear from you. Brought back a lot of memories, mate.
Yeah, good stuff, eh? Right,
let's get cracking.
Right, so the first one we got then is the classic Witchfinder General.
Yeah, requested by Graham.
Yeah, Witchfinder General.
I think that's the one you was after, Graham.
Yeah, and it is a good film actually. Good stuff. I mean, Vincent Price, is you can't beat Vincent Price. He's been in so many like classic horror films and stuff, but that is probably, I reckon that's probably the best thing that he's been in actually. And
where's it based?
But it's based in this country. I think it's based in like Norfolk or Suffolk or something.
Which it's actually Mistley.
Is it?
And Manningtree, all around them areas.
Yeah,
that's a lot of it started.
It's based on true events as well.
That's
apparently.
right. Yeah.
I mean, he was apparently the character that Vincent Price plays was called Matthew Hopkins.
That's it. The old Witchfinder General.
And he used to go around like little towns and villages, like just basically anyone who was suspected of being a witch was just killed, And the film is actually, I mean, first time I saw that was on that series we had over here in the UK called Movie Drome.
Right, yeah.
And every week it'd be Alex Cox when he'd be introducing some weird films or cult films, and that was on there one night. And it's the other actor in it is Ian Ogilvy, who was in The Return of the Saint.
Yeah, he was good, wasn't he? Yeah.
And what's name's in it as well. Very briefly, Wilfred Bramble from Steptoe.
Oh, was he?
Son.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's in it very briefly, and yeah, it's good. I mean, it's and the guy who directed that, his name was Michael. I think his name was Michael Reeves or something.
Okay.
And he only made 2 films, and then he was looked upon as going to be a major talent, and he made 2 films and then committed suicide. So
didn't go well for him then.
But I mean, he made a film with Boris Karloff. Called, I forget what it was called now, but that was the first one he made, and then he made that, and then he topped himself. So
shame, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, it is a good film, Witchfinder General, and it's it's one of them films that you could watch it over and over again. Really, there's loads of good actors in it. It's the usual. I mean, I don't know when it was made. I think it might have been made about 1970 or 71, but it was really
71.
Is it?
I think, yeah.
It's really one of the first ones of those of the British wave of those sorts of horror films, And
it's, I mean, the slogan on the video: "Those who worship the beast will have no rest day or night."
Yeah. It's good. It's good stuff.
Brilliant.
I mean, and I just thought like Vincent Price. I mean, he was in 2 other good films. One was called The Mask of the Red Death, which was an Edgar Allan Poe story. And he played this bloke called Prince Prospero, and that was a good film.
Yeah.
And also he was in this film in the 50s, which is a cult classic. I remember my auntie talking about it. She saw it at the pictures and was like shocked at the time, but now it's like a bit naff. It's called The Tingler.
Right. Okay.
And that's another one of his good films,
Yeah. Nothing.
No.
Okay. Just to make sure.
And just briefly, while we're on Vincent Price, I've got this book. Now, this is a weird thing. I got this book in a charity shop years ago, and it's called Cooking Price-Wise.
Really?
And it would appear that old.
Why would you buy that?
Well, I just looked. I'd never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
I thought that's an odd thing. And it would appear that back in 1971 or 72, whenever it was 1971, Vincent Price had a cooking show on Thames Television.
How strange is that? There you go, look at that.
Yeah, and it's got recipes and pictures of his dishes and stuff in here. I mean, it all looks a bit,
And that's an exclusive first on At Home in the Shed. Look at that.
Yeah, because I don't think anyone else has got this book,
yeah.
as far as I know, anyway.
Look at that. It's amazing.
Yeah. And I think when I picked it up, I got the usual taunts of, what are you buying that crap for and stuff like that. But
you can see why.
I had to get it, you know.
Was it half price?
Yeah, it was half price. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, injects a little bit of comedy, with you?
Yeah, has it got the old money on it? I don't know.
It has, yeah. Half a crown or something.
$1 D or something.
It is and all.
Yeah. But I've never seen any of these shows. Perhaps one night I'll have a look on YouTube and see if there's any on there. But
I've got to put my glasses on for this one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've read the little...
I don't think I've actually ever read it. I just flicked through it, and I think the dishes were putting off a little bit.
You actually paid 35p for that.
Was that how much I paid for it?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there it is in pencil, yeah.
It says a host of exotic recipes, things to eat and drink from all over the world.
Yeah.
And each one made from ingredients easily available from your local shops or supermarket.
Blimey, yeah. So
I mean, let's have a look at... I know this is going off track a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean...
let's see what he's knocked up. I don't know
know.
if I'd be satisfied knocking anything up for it that he's eaten.
No, I must admit.
Or he's made, rather.
From what I can remember, the dishes all look a bit sort of like, a bit strange, you know.
What's he
like?
Yeah, he's knocked up potted cheese.
Potted cheese.
Half a pound of double Gloucester, grated in brackets.
Grated.
2 ounces butter, pepper, pinch of ground mace.
Mace.
That's what you use in pepper spray, isn't it? No.
Well, the ingredients in the 70's were a bit off the wall, weren't they?
Oh, and this tops it off. Half a glass of dry sherry.
Oh right, yeah. Chuck the old sherry in there.
That's unreal.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember my old man saying to me. I remember him saying, "I bet you're the only one out of your mates who's got a book like that."
Yeah, I'm not surprised, mate.
I said, I don't think they'd entertain buying it.
Yeah, see you coming, mate. That shop. I mean, some of the stuff in it.
Yeah, I mean, you know what it reminds me of? It looks like that stuff that Fanny Craddock used to prepare, all cream and that, and like
apple and citrus souffle.
Oh God, yeah. It's a bit much.
He's happy as Larry there.
Yeah,
look.
Yeah. I've got to say that.
Bless him.
It might be worth seeking out this show if there's any of them on YouTube.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll have a look at a clip, and if it doesn't obviously infringe copyright and all that stuff, we'll whack a little clip on there.
Yeah, we could
in between. Yeah,
it'd be good, that wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would.
Because I've never seen any of them.
That's unreal, that, mate.
Yeah,
well done. Well done on that.
Yeah.
You never cease to amaze me, mate. I tell you, you really don't.
Right, the next one is another classic.
Good call, though, Graham.
Really
that
good.
film.
This is really good. This one. This is another sort of like classic, like 70's British horror film, and it's this one. It's Blood on Satan's Claw.
I've just noticed it. Patrick Whitmark. It's not Richard Whitmark's.
No, I'm not sure. I think that Patrick Whitmark. I think he's an old actor, like because he's in. I don't know whether he's actually in that Witchfinder General as well, because a lot of the actors were the same sorts of actors were in the films,
Yeah.
But this is once again, it's like filmed in the medieval times, whatever, and it's really great. I mean,
Linda Hayden.
Yeah, I mean, she's in it, and she's really nice, and she went on to do other films. I mean, I can't remember what film she did now.
She had the episode in The Professionals.
Right, yeah.
She played a part in that. I can't remember what her part was, but that's where I first see her.
Yeah.
And I thought, who is she?
Yeah.
So I thought it was Susan George at first.
That's right, yeah.
She looks very much like her.
Yeah.
But Linda Hayden's really good. Is this... What's the other film we saw of her? Where she was dragged in that wood and sort of like possessed almost.
Yeah, that was another one, wasn't it? Another sort of similar sort of like... because she's made a few of those sorts of films.
Brilliant. I'll have to seek that out. That one. I haven't seen that.
Oh, it is good. I mean, and it's like it starts off with these. They're all like running around in like a wood or something, and they find this like thing in the grass. It's like this claw or something, or this horn, And then it's rumoured that it's like a devil. The devil has left it there or something.
Right.
And then and it just goes downhill from there. Basically, the vicar in the local church gets. She starts like flirting with him and that. Because she gets possessed by this thing, and then all of them they sort of like it's a bit like Lord of the Flies, that film where they all gang up on each other.
I remember watching that in school, Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, I saw it in school.
But Linda Hayden's great. Look her up on YouTube. We'll put a little photo up here or something so you can have a little nose.
And also in that film is the actress Michelle Doutrice,
right,
who used to be Frank Spencer's wife in
Betty.
Some Mothers Do Have 'Em. Yeah,
Betty,
and like the reason because she's in this next one as well. So
and she was actually married to
yeah,
Edward Woodward.
Yeah, the Equalizer.
And as the old saying goes, what do you do if you take all the D's out of his name? What's he called then? And it's Woo, which actually, you know, when you think about it, just completely throws him out the water, doesn't it?
Yeah, basically.
As being like this Equalizer type hard nut.
Imagine him having that on his business card, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, because he was in Edward Woo-wah. He was in the classic Wicker Man, wasn't he?
That's right, it's a brilliant film.
Which is, you know, I've not seen that for years, but that's another one which I haven't got actually, but it's a similar sort of thing to these 70s horrors, isn't it?
But it's Nicolas Cage, the new one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Wicker Man,
yeah.
That's good though, that I'll see it.
Yeah.
But, I must watch that one.
Yeah,
I think
good.
I'll watch it in here one day while I'm waiting for a print to do or something.
Yeah, it's good. You'll like it. It is good. And and like I said, Michelle Doutrice is in that, and she's in this one as well, which is another good. This is called And Soon the Darkness.
There you go.
This come out about 1970, I think, and I remember seeing this on TV years ago, late at night, and thinking what a great film it was. And then it was in the dark for years, so you couldn't get it. I couldn't even remember the title of it. And then it came out on DVD.
Yeah.
And my mate bought it for me. And basically, this girl on the front, Pamela Franklin and Michelle Doutrice, they're two English girls, and they're cycling through France.
Right.
And there's like they're cycling through France. They've got a radio, and there's like a killer on the loose, you know. And they're having to be careful because they keep seeing it in papers and on the radio about this killer, and then obviously the obvious happens. One of them goes missing, and then she's trying to find her.
Right.
And you're not sure who it. All the people in it are all like suspicious.
Or what way it's going. Yeah.
They're all suspicious.
Okay.
And the guy who's in it, actually, the main character, is that Sandor Ellis.
Right.
And he used to be Mr. Paul in Crossroads.
Oh yeah, I remember him. He's there, isn't it? Is it there or there?
Yeah, that's him there. Yeah,
in the middle.
That's with the dark glasses.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and he's in that, and it's good. It's like set in the French countryside, and it's creepy, you know, in places, and yeah, it's a good film.
I do like stuff like that. I mean, if you may have noticed this week as well, all DVDs this week.
Yeah, that's it.
Just for a change.
Yeah,
probably, you know.
Yeah, it's all DVDs. I mean, I haven't, to be quite honest, I haven't got a lot of these films on video now. I mean, I think I might have had them in the past. I certainly had Witchfinder General on video.
Yeah, it's a good one.
But it's before we started doing this, so I probably got rid of it, you know.
Right.
But, yeah. Okay, the next one is, and this is another rare sort of like odd film, and once again another one of those ones that was on TV late one night, and I saw it and I thought, wow, you know what a weird film.
Cheeks.
Yeah. I thought, what a weird film this is, and then it came out. A lot of times, a lot of VHS copies of that have come out with different titles, you know. But then when it finally came out on DVD, I thought, no, I've got to get it because it was really good. And it's basically where three friends meet up and they go to this mansion for like a weekend of like shooting and that. You know, they've all got money and that. They're all like kind of upper class and that. And strange things start happening. And that thing on the front, that doll on the front, it comes to life.
Okay.
And it's like so creepy, you know. But Marianne Faith was in it. Lee Lawson, the actor who was in The Hammer House of Horror, who with that Charlie boy, that voodoo doll.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And this actor here, Vivian McKerrell, he died quite young, and he was a mate of. He was a good friend of the director Bruce Robinson, who made Withnow and I.
Right, okay.
And they reckon that Withnow and I, the character of Withnow, was based on this guy.
Okay, what his lifestyle?
Because that's what he was like in real life, you know.
I noticed Marianne Faithfull there as well.
Yeah,
the old Mars bar.
That's
it. Anyone knows about that?
Yeah, Mick Jagger's girlfriend.
Yeah. Lots of bit of confectionery didn't lay between them.
But yeah, it's good. It's a good film, and it's creepy, like, you know. And it's
chiller.
And there's one scene in it where they're talking about this asylum. It might be even the place they're in. It might have before it was an asylum or something. and they're showing you like what actually happened when the lunatics took over and like killed the staff and that, and the whole scene is really like really creepy, you know.
A dreamlike chiller. It's
yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? That cover?
And I mean, there's one bit in the film where this guy, this actor Larry Dan, he's in his room and the doll is looking at him, and then the next thing you know, he's running through the woods and that, and the doll is like. Has got his hand and the doll is running and he's like running with the doll, you know. I don't know how they filmed it.
Sort of thing you dream of, isn't it?
Yeah.
All weird mixture of stuff, you know.
I don't know how they filmed it because unless it was they got like a little girl to do it or something. I don't know, but it looks so real, you know. And it's good film.
It does look good.
Yeah.
And Reese, my daughter's boyfriend, might like this.
Yeah.
It's a reference to Edgar Allan Poe.
He likes Edgar Allan Poe, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's possible that he could get in. I mean, that's from about 1974, that is.
Yeah.
But like I said, all these films are films that, you know, before we had video, and they were films that were always on late at night, you know, and you'd catch them when you was a young kid. You'd catch them, you'd see a bit of them, and it sort of stuck in your mind. You think, oh, that was a weird film. I'd like to see that again.
No, I like that.
Yeah.
Was there any cookery book to go along with a ghost story?
No. I'm afraid I've only got one horror cookbook, and that's Vincent Price.
What would have been interesting is a Marianne Faithfull. Let's go cooking with Marianne Faithfull.
Yeah,
that would have been nice.
Well, one night I was watching, not myself personally watching it, of course, as you know. My mum was watching it.
Right, it feels like you're backtracking a little bit here.
Nigella Lawson's cooking, and she's got a collection of cookbooks, and she's got a Liberace cookbook.
No,
showing it off, Liberace cookbook.
Yeah,
he's on the front, like he's on the front with like smiling with this thing he's made, like.
Don't think I'll be indulging in that one.
Nah. Right, keeping in with the same sort of like same sort of stuff as that. Really, is this one, which a lot of people would know this. This is from Beyond the Grave, and there was a lot of these films come out in the 70's. There was this one. There was one called The Vault of Horror, and there was another one which I can't remember now. I think it's called Asylum. And basically, it was a film with about 3 or 4 stories in one film. You know, a
bit like Screen Time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and this is the one which I remember, the one I like the best. And Peter Cushing's in this, and he plays like the part of like a shopkeeper in this antique shop, you know. And everyone who comes in, something happens. Like there's a story.
I've seen it.
Yeah,
I've seen it. It's brilliant.
You've seen it?
Yeah, I have. Ian Banner as well.
That's it.
One of my mum's favourites.
Yeah, and that Ian Bannon one is one of the best ones. It's the one with Diana Dawes.
Yeah,
and it's where he comes out the station and Donald Pleasance is standing there selling matches and things, you know, and he gets involved with Donald Pleasance and his daughter. And Donald Pleasance's daughter, she's so strange looking, and but yeah, and the other story, the first one, is that David Warner.
Yeah. And
he's got this mirror, and he sees himself in the mirror, and the mirror keeps telling him to go out and kill, like, you know.
Dawn Porter. It's not the. It's not the. No, it can't be her. She's too young, isn't she?
It's the one on there. She's an older actress. You'd know her if you saw her. Nairi Dawn Porter, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the one with Ian Carmichael. He's in that one.
He's good.
And what's name's in that as well. Once again, Ian Ogilvy is in that with the actress. Is it Leslie Ann Down?
Yeah, she was great, wasn't she?
Yeah, she's in that and all. So that's a good one. That's one that. I mean, I've got it on DVD, but if ever it comes on TV, I end up watching it again.
And what you'll find, being on YouTube ourselves as well, you'll find a lot of these films on YouTube.
Yeah.
Somehow, I mean, I'm frightened to put a clip for 10 seconds without getting banned, but some people put full films on there, and there's a lot of British horrors.
Yeah.
And after watching this episode back myself, I'll watch a couple of these.
Yeah, there's a lot on there. I mean, that one that we was talking about, that Deathline.
Yeah.
That's on there,
great,
isn't it?
That's
actually
Pleasance,
on. That's him, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's on YouTube, isn't it?
It's quite macabre, that film.
I mean,
it's a bit like if any of you ever seen Creep, about that thing on the underground.
Yeah.
That's the Deathline was the original idea, and then Creep obviously was a remake almost.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Both great films, weren't they?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
They were good. These were good films. I mean, there's another one which I think there's one called The Vault of Horror, and they all get in a lift and they go to the basement, and they're all like getting in this lift and they're all sort of looking at each other, and they get in and they go to and they want to go to the ground floor and end up in the basement, and they say, "What are we doing in here?" Like, and then they sit down in a ring, and then someone's sitting there, and they start telling the story of what's happened to them.
Yeah.
And that's basically what it is.
I like it.
They're all dead, but they're every night they've got to go down to the basement and relive their story, what they did wrong, you know.
Yeah.
And Joan Collins is in one, and Tom Baker, you know, the guy from Doctor Who.
Yeah, yeah.
So they were good. Like they were good films, you know.
He's got a good voice, hasn't he, Tom Baker?
Yeah, yeah. Right, what we got here? This is just another one which I just pulled out, which I've only watched it once, and it's Dracula Has Risen from the Grave. That's Christopher Lee.
I always used to get Vincent Price and Christopher Lee mixed up. I don't know if anyone else does, but
similar, aren't they?
Yeah,
like,
they are
similar sort of like films they've been in. But
well, when you think about it, Vincent Price was only going until quite recently, wasn't he? He was in like I know they superimposed his image on the latest Star Wars or whatever to carry on. He died halfway through making it.
I think so. Yeah.
Can't believe how long he's been going. You know.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, Christopher Lee, he was in the Wicker Man as well, wasn't he? But that's I mean, obviously he was quite a good Dracula, wasn't he, Christopher Lee? Yeah. And there's one I was looking when I picked that up, I thought it was the one where he's in London, because there's one called something like, and I realise now it's another one. It's called Dracula AD 1972 or something.
Right. Okay.
And he's whizzing around in like modern swinging London as a vampire. But this one, I've watched it once. I'll have to watch it again. But I mean, I just like the cover actually. I like the art on the front. It's pretty good, isn't it?
You do get some good covers, don't you, on some of the old horror films?
Yeah, definitely. They've definitely got something to them, haven't they?
I mean, even looking at like Vincent Price and Christopher Lee, you can't visualise them without fangs. It's weird. No, even if they're not in that sort of film, it just, I don't know, it is weird.
Christopher Lee's always been one of them guys that, you know, even when he was being interviewed on TV, like, just, you know, everyday thing, he always had that look, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
You know?
You don't get people like this anymore. You don't.
And it's very, like very rare that you get actors that you can really, you know,
relate to.
Classic actors like they used to be. You know what I mean? There are some good actors, but
that'd be a really good poster, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's right vivid, isn't it?
No, I love that.
Yeah, look at that.
Nice little collection there so far.
Yeah. Right. So then I've got this one, which is similar to that. It's another Hammer horror one, Vampire Circus, and that's another sort of unusual looking cover. That was a lot of these films were made by the Hammer, the Hammer Studios and that, and obviously the TV series that we like was in 1980, wasn't it?
The full Hammer House of Horrors. Yeah. I was talking to my cousin about it.
And I like them. I mean, I like them, and I think I might have been watching them before I knew a lot of these films existed.
Yeah.
Or they were Hammer films from the Hammer Studios and that. But I can't remember much about that. I think it's where a carnival comes to town or something.
Yeah, that's right. It says Vampire Circus is one of the greatest movies from Hammer's last decade of undead adventures. It don't really give you a lot on the here we go. This stylish, bloody and atmospheric horror takes place in the tiny village of Stell, overlooked by the great castle of Count Millerhals. When their children go missing, the villagers suspect the Count of being a vampire. I haven't seen this, but I was going to say I can already visualise the villagers with like pitchforks and that. And am I right?
That's right. That's what happens. Because the people keep going missing, and they go up there to confront him, and then this circus comes to town, and they're like in league with him, I think. You know, but the girl in it is Adrienne Corrie, and she was in Clockwork Orange. She was the one that when they break into the bloke's house and they pick her up and throw her all over the place.
Oh, what? That you bastards!
Yeah.
She goes, doesn't she?
I think that's her. Yeah, I think that's.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Adrienne Corrie. Yeah.
Yeah, she's good.
She's like an old English. I think she's an English actress.
If I remember rightly, she gets killed with a ceramic penis.
I know.
In that film.
Yeah. And gets called something like a filthy old Sumka or something.
Sumka, that's right. Yeah, can't beat old Kubrick, can you? Get a little reference to him over the back there if you can see it. Little Clockwork Orange there. There it is. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be careful on that.
Yeah, in case the chair breaks.
Not the strongest one in the world.
Right, I've got got 4 more here. So
it's all right.
I'm just going to have these ones right now. What it is, I'll show you the first one. That's called A Warning to the Curious.
Okay.
And it's the actor who played Grouty in Porridge. Remember that one?
Was he Wolfie in Citizen Smith and all?
He was in Citizen Smith.
He was the old boy.
He was the old boy.
He always
yeah.
plays like
a Peter Vaughan, his name.
Yeah, brilliant actor.
He was a good actor. He was
quite a frightening bloke, isn't he?
Yeah. And this A Warning to the Curious was a part of what they used to call Ghost Stories for Christmas, and they were on TV like, you know, bloody hell, when I was like about 5 or 6, so I wouldn't have seen them first time round. But my cousin, he watched them all when they first come on, because he's a lot older than me, and he's got them all on disc now, and that's basically every Christmas back in the 70s they used to put a Christmas ghost story on, and that is one of them, A Warning to the Curious, and it's really eerie because it's set in Norfolk or Suffolk or something.
Norfolk coast, yeah. Oh, that'd be good to watch.
And it's really good. It's on YouTube because I've watched it on YouTube as well, and he goes looking for this treasure which has been buried on the Norfolk coast, but there's like a ghost like guarding it, and the minute he digs it up, you keep seeing this silhouette in the back all the time.
Right.
And
it's like Slender Man sort of thing.
Yeah, the way it's filmed is really eerie, you know, and he's good in it as well, Peter Vaughan, you know. So
but there's something about like the Norfolk coast and like being near the seaside, like, but not the seaside as such, but areas on the coastline, and it's just, I don't know, it's something quite.
Well, there's such a lot of history about Norfolk and Suffolk, a lot of like ghost stories and hauntings and that. And the guy who wrote this, his name was M.R. James, and he's written loads of like ghost stories, and he died years ago now. But a lot of the stuff that he wrote has been made into these little films and that. I've got a few more of those indoors, but I bought that one because that's the best one, really.
British Film Institute as well.
Yeah, it's the BFI again. So
1972.
Yeah,
Blimey.
yeah.
That's a good. I might have to watch that. You know?
Have a look at it because it's good. Because this is a similar thing. This was another thing which was on around about in the 70s called Dead of Night, and that once again it was like, you know, another one of them like late night things. I don't know whether these were at Christmas. It could have been, but they're quite good. I mean, there's the best story is I think it's The Exorcism.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the best one. The other two, Return Flight and A Woman Sobbing, are okay, but The Exorcism is the best one, you know. I
mean, The Exorcism is in what is perhaps the most terrifying of the 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Wealthy middle-class friends gather for a Christmas dinner in a country cottage, only to find that the past will not rest while they feast.
Yeah, and it's good. It is good. It's quite eerie, like, and I like a lot of this stuff from the 70s. It was quite eerie, and like it didn't rely too much on gore and stuff. It was more like that sort of chilly kind of thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And like more effects and that, you know.
Yeah, no, I love that.
So yeah, that's another good one. Yeah.
These trilogy things, you know, there was one I think we spoke about before called Scream Time.
Yeah.
And I watched it when I was a kid. It frightened me, you know. It was just some weird stories, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Really weird stories in that.
Yeah.
You know?
It's the same sort of thing, you know. I mean, there's another. I mean, the classic of them all really is a film called Dead of Night, which was made about 1943 or something, and that was on Moviedrome as well. And that's a similar thing. There's like 4 or 5 stories in one, and they're all in this house, and they're recounting these stories, you know, and that's really good, you know.
What was the other one? Was it Stephen King's Cat's Eyes, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Was that Stephen King?
That was Stephen King. Yeah,
brilliant. You've never seen that? It's a good film. That is.
Yeah.
Really, really good. You know, Cat's Eyes.
That was good. Yeah, that's the sort of thing. Like, you know, you got like and like the others were. Some of them were not bad. Creep Show.
Oh yeah,
you know,
great. Yeah.
Some of them were good.
Thanks for the ride, lady.
Yeah.
That's it. That's a great film.
But yeah, good stuff. I've got 2 left now. I'm trying to save the most crazy, bizarre one till last.
Oh, so we ain't got that then so far. I mean, look.
Oh, well, I suppose you
still can't get over that.
Got to go quite a way to beat Cooking with Vincent Price. Look at him, look. Yeah.
Just before we move on, I'm just going to run through one more recipe.
Yeah.
Just for.
Do you think a lot of these recipes might be American recipes? Because he was American when he came from St. Louis, Missouri.
That's right. But you know, I think it's nice to do a slot each week of a Vincent Price recipe, maybe.
Yeah.
We've got Peruvian peppers. Peruvian peppers.
Peruvian? Why Peruvian?
Peeled, parboiled and diced.
Yeah.
8 ounces of raw meat, beef, medium onions, tablespoon of tomato puree, tomatoes skinned and chops, pint of stock, half a bay leaf. Half a bay leaf.
Why not just put the whole one in?
Yeah,
Put 2 in.
4 peppers.
Because he knows what he's doing.
Cored and scalded. Well, that sounds nice, that.
Well, imagine him sitting in the Savoy eating that lot.
But you've got to make sure it's on gas mark 4, otherwise
Yeah.
it may come unstuck, you know.
It's gonna be. I'll tell you what.
Here he is, there, look.
Oh yeah, look, he's preparing. He's in action. There he's in
A
action.
bit of preparation, look. Knocking up a bit of whole lamb there by the looks of it.
Vince in action.
Yeah, Moroccan tagine.
Yeah, knocking up a bit of lamb shank, like,
Yeah,
you know.
love it.
Bit of scrag end, as old Mother Riley used to say. Right, this is a classic. I love this. This is the infamous Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde.
Hang on a minute. I think that's the wrong title, surely. I mean, I may be wrong.
Oh.
I'm no expert on it, but
Yeah.
isn't it Dr. Jekyll and Dr. Hyde?
Well, it should be Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Mr. Hyde, sorry,
But
yeah.
unfortunately, it's the 70's, you know, and trying to inject a little bit of like sex and, you know, a little bit of like, you know, nudity into it. Yeah. They decided to go with Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde. But what makes me laugh about this is that they actually found an actress who actually looks like Ralph Bates.
I was actually going to say there's a similarity on the back there. I thought how strange is that?
Because when he changes, you know, and you
that.
see her, you think well, she's nice. She is nice. She's attractive, but she definitely looks like Ralph Bates. Like,
Got
you know?
really high cheekbones.
Good casting there. But yeah, it's good. It's basically he's like a tortured scientist and that who thinks nothing about just his work, you know, and he ends up testing the serum out on himself, and that's what happens to him. He turns into like a Sister Hyde. So Dr. Jekyll is like, you know,
so that's actually him.
Yeah, it's meant to be him. Like, you know, he changes, and it's a bit crazy because the girl upstairs really likes him, and every time she comes down, he's there. But then she has to get out quick because he starts coming over bad and he starts changing. And then her brother, every time her brother comes down, she's there, like, you know,
right.
And he starts to sort of like, you know, tries to take her out and everything, but she's mad, you know.
Right.
So
especially when he gets down to it and he's got a chap sitting there, you never know.
Yeah.
But I bet Robert Louis Stevenson's turning in his grave.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
it's one of them, it makes me laugh because it's a typical sort of thing from the 70's where they said like, well, how can we jazz this up a little bit? How can we make it a bit more exciting? And yeah, why not call it Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde? You know, and her name is Martine Beswick.
Right. Yeah, I've seen her in a couple of things.
So yeah, we'll get Martine in, you know, and she can. We get her in like a nice red dress and that, and she can sort of like, you know, be all seductive looking and that. And that's basically what happened. I mean, she's a little bit like the girl who used to do the Lamb's Navy Rum thing, remember?
Oh, right, yeah, I do.
Used to come into the... Was she the same girl that used to do the high karate adverts?
Oh, right. Or the same bird that done the flake advert.
Yeah, used to come in, didn't she, and knock all the chairs out of the way, chasing the guy, like, you know.
I could never understand them flake commercials where I had Nig Yuan on the phone.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Running across the phone. It's not exactly an exotic.
No, not really, no.
Better off getting a Mars bar. Old Faithful would be interested.
Faithful back on the scene, yeah, she'd sort things out.
Yeah.
Well, the last one tonight.
Here we go.
Is something which I saved till last because I think it's just hilarious.
I've just seen the cover.
It's hilarious, and it's him again. Actually, it's Ralph Bates again in this.
Right.
And when this came out, it was called "I Don't Want to Be Born," but it's been marketed by the Classic Horror Collection as The Monster. And there it is. It's Joan Collins. And
I don't know what to say, to be honest.
Yeah, there it is. The Monster.
It's like there's some little fella hanging on the back of her shoulders there.
Yeah.
Don't know what it is.
Well, basically, from what I can remember, she's a dancer in a nightclub, you know, an exotic dancer. And the little guy fancies her, he likes her, you know, but she's obviously she humours him a little bit, you know. And then something happens, and she upsets him, and he puts a curse on her.
Right.
So then Ralph Bates is the guy that she's married to in it, and she gets pregnant, and she's worried that something's going to happen to the baby, like it's going to be, you know, it's not going to be right because this little guy's put a curse on, you know. And but what is bizarre about this film is that every time you see the baby in its cot, it's just laughing and smiling. So they didn't even try and make it look as if the baby was like kind of possessed or anything.
Like just a normal baby enjoying life. Yeah.
And there's scenes where you see Ralph Bates come out of his front door and he's walking down the street and there's like London buses going past and that, and you're thinking, well, what's all this about?
Yeah.
And
It's not leading to anything.
Not leading. He's just going up the street, like, you know. And there's a nun in it. You can see the nun on the back. And I mean, I've got to be honest, it's quite a while since I watched it, so I'll have to watch it again.
Yeah.
But I remember getting it, and me and my old man watched it, and I remember my dad saying, well, I like Joan Collins, but I ain't not all keen on this. and I thought, I think I might trade it in. And then I had second thoughts. I thought, no, I'm going to keep it. I think and give it another look, you know. So yeah, but it's been on TV a few times, late night, BBC Two, Channel 4, and it's it's good. I mean, what's good about it as well? What is good about it is it's set in London. It's filmed in the King's Road.
Oh right, yeah.
So there's a lot of scenes of London in the 70's again. You know,
she wouldn't have had to go far, would she?
Yeah,
obviously live around there.
Of course, yeah. Probably the big house off of like, you know, Sloane Square or somewhere.
But he's actually got his hands on her breasts in there.
I know. That particular scene, she's in her dressing room and he comes in and like touches her and she screams, you know, because I think it might even be when he puts the curse on her when she rebukes him, like, you know.
What's she dressed as?
He's like a little jester or something, you know.
Well, no wonder she ain't interested knocking about in that outfit.
Yeah. I mean, I think he was like dreaming a little bit. Think he was gonna, you know, get a date with Joan, like. You know,
see what? That's a nice little collection tonight, Cal. And I mean, you know, just to leave you with a little joke, soon as we're on that, you know, the smaller fellas in life.
Yeah.
There's a princess walking through the forest. There's a little tiny bloke sitting like that, you know, with his head like that, head in his hands. And the old princess goes up to him. She says, "Are you a goblin?" He says, "No, I've got a headache." Now, for the UK viewers, you'll understand that, but I don't know if the American guys will. But you know, it's a good collection there.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Well, like I said, I mean, I've got quite a few of those 70's British horror films. Yeah. And I got a few more indoors, but I mean, I just bought them tonight. We can do a part 2, you know.
Yeah.
But I must admit, I'm quite pleased with that little lot there.
Yeah, brilliant.
And like I said, I mean, I think really the American horror films of the 70's, I do like them, but the English horror films, they've got something about them, you know, something different about them, I think, you know, and they seem to be more like creepy and like a bit more eerie in that, you know.
Yeah.
And like you said, you can watch them over and over again, really, you know.
Yeah, you can.
And
as I say, if you get an opportunity to watch all of the Hammer House of Horror season, all of them, the whole lot from start to finish, I've seen them over and over.
Yeah, same here.
I love it. I love where they're made. I love, you know, I mean, the house that bled to death. I think what my cousin mentioned the other day.
Yeah, Nicholas Ball and in that. Yeah, that's a good one. That, isn't it?
I remember where we used to live. We had all pipes on the wall, and I was only young. I used to think to myself, if blood starts coming out of them, you know, the house that bled to death is quite strong, isn't it?
It is quite strong. Yeah. And I mean, if I remember correctly, they was on Sunday nights. I think it was Sunday nights.
That's right.
But the one about the devil worship one, that's quite sort of like bit sort of near the marking places.
Yeah. Some of them are.
Yeah. And there's another one called the Carpathian Eagle, and it's Anthony Valentine and that actress Suzanne Danielle.
Yeah.
And she was, back in the 80s, Suzanne Danielle was always hanging around with like Patrick Mower and Kenny Lynch and all like them sorts of people. And she's in this particular one, and that's a good one. That's weird, that is.
Yeah,
you know?
I think I've seen that one.
Yeah.
What's the one where they keep them in cages down in the basement?
Yeah, that's the Peter Cushing one.
Yeah, it's good. Another good one. That. You know?
They're all good. I mean, you know, they're all good. They're all worth watching. You know.
But I mean, that's about it for the week. We've bought a few good ones there.
Yeah,
Gary's bought around again. You know.
We've gone through the gauntlet of the 70's horror tonight. The UK horror.
No, as I say, we'll throw some little clips up and all, just to show you a couple of bits on here, actors and what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's worth flashing up an image or a bit of a video or something, just so you can see who it is.
Yeah, it's nice to just to sort of like see a little clip and that to perhaps remind people of, like, films they might. I mean, maybe a little clip of The Monster with Joan Collins. I mean, everyone knew her from The Stud and The Bitch, but maybe The Monster could be. Yeah. A bit of recollection,
We'll see if I can unearth a clip of that.
Cooking with Vince.
Yeah. But as I say, once again, thanks for tuning in. It means a lot to us, new subscribers and comments and likes and everything else. It goes a long way, so much appreciated. And we'll see you in a week's time.
See you next time.
All right, see you later on. Bye.